Dylan Mulvaney back in the news. I'm sorry, audience. I'm sorry, but we're just going to spend a minute on Dylan Mulvaney, who has now not only dropped a memoir, but has opened up a podcast, and it's called The Dylan Hour. I'm sure you're all writing it down and going to subscribe now, but here is his opening song. By the way, Dylan Mulvaney, for those of you who don't know, is a man pretending to be a woman and making a living off of describing his 100 days of girlhood and now his days of womanhood, and he is not or a girl. He is a man. Here is the opening song for his pod.
In the shower, on a walk, the Dylan Hour, feeling sweet, feeling sour.
I feel nothing.
The Dylan Hour, my couch is open, it's better than therapy. All your soccer moms, all your theys and thems, all your bottom boys, my bisexual femmes. Come one and all, disassociate with me. It's free. Grab a drink, or two or three. You have no friends, all good, you got me. It's the Dylan Hour. Love ya.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I apologize. Please forgive me. It had to be done. And you guys, I'm the one who did it to you. Christian, will you be writing that one up soon and a review, same as Snow White?
Absolutely. I mean, I just want to focus, like the show, on girls, gays, and theys, which is part of their promotional push. You know, I want to tie this back to Snow White briefly. Mm-hmm. If you had put Dylan Mulvaney in Snow White, it would be offensive. She would be kind of mincing around as Snow White. And that would be offensive. And yet in movies today, every female seems to be this tough warrior. And, you know, she can beat up 6 men and she's empowered and strong. And yet Dylan just kind of goes around as this sort of caricature of a woman. But no one's upset about that.
Dylan is 6 men.
Link, I'll tell you something. Just because I knew you guys were going to be coming on, we'd be talking about this person. I actually downloaded his audiobook. I didn't make it through the first chapter, but I did try. And what I gleaned off of what I heard was this is just a gay boy. He was a gay boy who knew he was gay when he was very young, and his family knew he was gay. And he became a theater kid, and he was starring on like off-Broadway type productions and Book of Mormon, and like doing okay, not doing too poorly. And I don't know how it crossed over, but I don't believe this person ever had true gender dysphoria. I just think he was a gay man who saw an opportunity to take things next level by playing this new role.
So what I think happened was, because I've had the same theory for years, and Dylan Mulvaney did a little video on me and then wrote me to apologize, which I never responded to. But my theory for years has been Dylan tried a million different avenues to have fame and fortune. Dylan wanted to either be a famous actor or a singer or a dancer, and it didn't work. So one day Dylan started doing this Days of Girlhood series where he would pretend to be a woman and say, I wrote an angry email today. I'm a woman now. I'm a girl. And the video started to get traction. I think if the videos hadn't taken off, Dylan wouldn't have transitioned and gone down that rabbit hole. But when the followers poured in and the views and the money and the brand deals, Dylan's like, oh, well, let me transition because this is now my ticket to fame and stardom. But Dylan Mulvaney is phony. Dylan Mulvaney is an actor. Dylan Mulvaney is inauthentic. And so I don't think that this book or the podcast are going to do too well.
Now, Dylan went on The View to promote his memoir. Again, I believe he launched on the International Day of Women. Like, okay. So he goes on The View to promote his book. And they did raise with him the Bud Light controversy, where Bud Light agreed to put his face on a can and sent him the can as a promotional thing. I mean, to be perfectly honest, this is all on Bud Light. That particular incident is way more a Bud Light problem than it is a Dylan Mulvaney problem. But Bud Light should have foreseen what was going to happen to Dylan as a result of it. And he's out there trying to make money off of his image of women and girls, which is really offensive. So I really have no empathy for what, the mix he found himself in. But it was an overwhelming backlash, and he was asked about it. Here's how that went in SOT 21.
It took a lot to not feel guilty
This is not The View, this is
about
CBS.
that experience, because I felt like it was my fault. And in that me taking this one brand deal was affecting trans people globally. I think extremists and transphobic media needed a poster child, but I would have never taken any deal that I thought could negatively impact me or the community. It resulted in a lot of suicidal ideation and dissociation. I'm still battling with some of that guilt and that shame and that dysphoria that was projected onto me during that time.
So, and there was a question about whether Dylan needed to be institutionalized. And Dylan said, I don't want to be institutionalized because people will just use that against me. But I have to tell you, I really think this is more a revelation, Christian, of the unwellness of this person. Because there are a lot of people who go through massive social media backlash, a lot of people who don't think about taking their own lives, who don't need to be institutionalized, and not just hard, cynical mofos like yours truly. But a lot of people have backlash. The people listening to this show have had it in their lives, what is a massive scale, where people have turned on them and try to cancel them on Facebook because of their politics, what have you. I just know from my audience, this has happened to a lot of people. But Dylan revealing that, I think, reveals more than he means to.
Yeah, I mean, he sounds like a troubled soul. And, part of this is unfair on him in that I think a lot of the culture's frustration with the trans agenda, putting, women against trans women in sports, forcing kids to change their gender and hiding them from their parents. I think a lot of that kind of just focused on him during that situation.
That's interesting.
So, so I think part of it was unfair, but, it is on Bud Light's situation. But he promised he'd be doing a lot of oversharing on his podcast, and he's oversharing here. And I maybe just needs help. Maybe that's just the end of the day. He needs help.
So I've asked myself, what is it about this particular person that I find so offensive? Because I will say, Link, I appreciate his sunny affect and how smiley he is, and his signature sign off is love ya. And he doesn't seem to person like necessarily like trying to, what I'm trying to say is like his attitude is generally upbeat, when you see him in a way that I can see it being appealing to like younger people, like, oh, he's so nice. But the whole caricature of women that he's doing is deeply offensive, even though he's saying love ya at the end of it. And it's almost like regressive. I feel like he's setting us back decades with this portrayal of what we are. And then you start talking about him giving out tampons and walking around with tampons. It's like, is there nothing about actual womanhood that is sacred to you? You have to make a joke or like a marketable shtick out of every part of what being a woman is actually like. And then my blood starts to boil again around this guy.
Well, Dylan Mulvaney reminds me of Ellen DeGeneres, because remember Ellen DeGeneres was all about be kind and kindness. That was her motto on her show. And then we found out she was basically running the Stanford prison experiments backstage and was treating people like crap. So I think Dylan Mulvaney is fake. I've said it for years. I think Dylan Mulvaney was like a bitchy, catty, theater queen gay boy, and is still a bitchy, catty, theater queen gay boy, but now in a wig and a dress. Like that is the real Dylan Mulvaney, and I have that verified from people I know and my own interactions. I think if you're a bitchy little gay theater boy, then that's still who you're gonna be. You can have all the PR and the agents around you, and you can have this narrative that you're putting out now that you're a victim, but I also have this role, especially with my friends and some of my newer friends, I tell them all the time, you can't play smart and dumb at the same time, okay? I see it with my friends, they try to play smart and dumb. They get themselves into a scandal or into trouble, and then, oh my God, I'm in the press, I'm in this, I'm in that. Well, if you play with fire, you're going to get burnt. So Dylan Mulvaney wanted fame and fortune and was making millions of dollars. I think Dylan bought a very nice home in Los Angeles. So now you want to be a victim? Your whole career has been handed to you on a platter because you threw on a dress and said you were a woman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I have no
What did you think was
sympathy.
going to happen? It's true. He courted public attention and comments on whatever he did, and he crossed a line. Look, there was blowback against him in the early days too, because he was mocking us with those ridiculous, quote, days of girlhood. But it didn't get, fever pitch until the Bud Light thing, which he wanted. He courted. It's like you have to take the bad with the good. That's what Dylan doesn't understand. It's what Meghan Markle doesn't understand. It's like Michelle Obama. If you're going to put yourself out there, it's not going to all be loving and supportive and wonderful. Like, man up. And I mean that to all three of them. Man up. Especially
I know.
Michelle.
I say man up all the time. I'm like, can we still say this? Man up, everybody. But no, I fully agree with you. You can't play smart and dumb. Okay, you can't beg for fame, fortune, and millions of followers, and then cry boo-hoo, Mary Lou Who, because you got some negative comments. In the Bud Light situation, I sort of defended Dylan on that one in 2023. I felt like Bud Light strayed from their core competencies. Like, that's on them.
Yeah.
Dylan was just collecting a check. But then Dylan also is pushing trans and gender ideology on millions of young, impressionable people, saying, oh, get on hormones, take a pill, take a shot. I had surgery. It's just really not good.
Dangerous.
It's really kind of sick to me. Yeah.
It's dangerous. It is no different than having a severe anorexic all over the internet being like, try it, just stop eating, or put your fingers down your throat. You can just get rid of that big dinner and you can be skinny like me. Go ahead, Christian.
Right.
You know, what Link was saying is true. And I think that, you know, Dylan will keep saying, I want to counter hate, I want to counter extremism, but he's not really listening to the people who are criticizing him. What about the parents who are aghast that their children are being sort of changed in the school without their knowledge? I mean, maybe he should meet them and understand why there's this really frustration what's going on in the culture right now. I think just saying, you're all extremists for not liking me is very glib. I think he should actually dig deeper if he really does want to promote kindness and empathy. That's where you start.
If Dylan came out and said, I don't support men and women's sports. I don't support men and women's bathrooms. I want a secure border. If Dylan went like more Caitlyn Jenner to the right, that would be iconic. But Dylan doesn't have it in him, okay? He's in that Hollywood liberal bubble.
I know. It's really kind of infuriating. And now, of course, he's like a big star and he's working it for all it's worth. You mentioned like he's actually a nasty person behind the scenes. Here is an exchange on from his first episode of his show where he's making his father practice speaking on the red carpet. Watch.
We're going to the premiere of Will and Harper on Netflix, which is Will Ferrell, and I know you're a fan of his, right?
Big.
Okay, good. And I just, you always say you'd like to go to an event like this, so I'm down. We're gonna do it. But my bitter is that I'm already preemptively a little nervous about what you're going to say to people.
Oh, I don't blame you.
So let's practice this.
Okay, yes.
When somebody says, so, Jim, what'd you think of the movie?
It was beautiful. It was something that moved me.
Oh, good. Excellent. What's it like being Dylan's dad?
Oh, I'm the most special dad in the world.
Yeah, you are.
I don't know, guys. I'm uncomfortable. It didn't seem real to me. There were quite a few cutting comments in the whole exchange.
Yeah, I just really think if you're a bitchy, and I've seen it in New York, I saw it in NYU, sorry to some of my old friends, if you're like a bitchy, nasty little gay twink and you transition, you're probably still going to be a bitchy, nasty person now, but you're just a trans woman. I will say the dad wasn't bad looking. The dad was kind of handsome, little Alec Baldwin-esque. I feel bad for the dad. The dad kind of looks like how Dylan would look in 30 years had he not, transitioned.
Well, but the dad is totally misleading people too, because he was asked, what do you do, when your child, comes out as trans? And here's what he said. Well, Dylan, and he talked about it. Listen, here's SOT 18.
Like, you saw that I was a very feminine kid. Yeah. And so was it like a super surprise to you when I came out?
No, not at all. I tell people I pretty much knew you were gay at 5 or 6. And then you saying to your mother and I, Mom, Dad, I think you said it to her and she mentioned it to me that I think God made a mistake and put a girl in a boy's body. And, that was, you just have to embrace it. You have to understand, there's these things called chromosomes and, these assholes in the world don't quite understand that. And like you said to me, Dill, the other day, a while back, is, Dad, what I'm doing right now is just like the gays 20 years ago, 30 years ago. And in 20, 30 years, it's going to be just the same. And
hopefully, if we don't get our rights taken away.
They won't be taken away. I'll kill somebody before that. Yeah. So.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, if your right is to participate in girl sports, it's a no. You don't go out and buy a life jacket when the boat is already sinking, and you don't buy gold when the economy has already collapsed. Clearly, others are heeding this advice as gold hit all-time highs already this year. It's not too late for you, too. and you could have Birch Gold help you diversify into physical gold. Birch Gold specializes in helping you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold for no money out of pocket. One recent 5-star review said Birch Gold was, quote, knowledgeable, helpful, non-pressure. Get your free info kit on gold by texting the letters MK to the number 989898. There's no obligation, just useful information. With an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and countless 5-star reviews, just text MK to 989898 and let the experts at Birch Gold help you secure your future today with gold. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.